Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about some of the surprisingly good gear that I've found at stores such as Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Ross. These aren't the first stores that come to mind when I think about travel and EDC gear, but I've often been surprised at some of the hidden gems that I've found while exploring there. And so if you're in the market for reliable and more budget-friendly gear, I definitely recommend starting off with one of these stores before going to the bigger box retailers or one of the premium brands. And one thing I want to mention about shopping at these stores is that they're able to offer brand name prices, older styles at lower price points due to the fact that their inventory is rotating. Sometimes it's older styles, and it's a little bit inconsistent what you find at each of these stores. It varies a lot by season, by state, city, and all that. So the items that I'm going to feature in this video aren't necessarily found at all of these stores at any given time, but to me, part of the fun is going and exploring and seeing what sort of deals I can score. So, this is just meant to be more inspiration, just to get you out there and exploring if you're looking for this type of gear, but I will link to the items that I'm actually featuring in the video if you want to purchase them from Amazon or somewhere else. And so before jumping in, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Backpacks are some of the items that I've most been surprised by at these types of stores. I've often seen North Face bags there, particularly some of their more budget-friendly options like the Jester or this one that I have here, which is the Pivoter. I wasn't even familiar with this bag when I was at Marshall's on the day that I found it. But it's a North Face bag, which I am a fan of. It seemed to have the same comfortable harness system that is found on so many of their bags. It felt a little bit like the Jester as far as the fabrics and the durability, so it doesn't feel like it has YKK zippers. The fabric is a little bit thinner. This almost feels a little like a more budget-focused recon bag, so it's got sort of the slip pocket on the front, which is really useful for larger accessories. It's got two really useful water bottle pockets on the exterior, some webbing along the front to allow you to clip on additional accessories. And then like the Jester, it has a large kind of admin compartment on the front, surprisingly spacious with some internal organization. And then you have a larger main compartment that also has a pretty well padded and suspended laptop sleeve. This is properly pulled up off the bottom of the ground, which I really like. The bag has a good frame sheet, which also helps keep the device protected. And then it comes in at around 29 liters of capacity, so it can really hold an impressive amount of stuff. And I believe I was able to get this for about $40. So at $40, if you need a spacious, North Face style bag, it's gonna be tough to beat. Another brand that I found pretty consistently at these stores is Herschel, particularly around back to school time, as Herschel backpacks are very popular for the high school and college sort of age crowd. And Herschel bags are some that I've had good experiences with. I've featured both the Little America and the Pop Quiz on the channel. I've often talked about how they have some of the best laptop protection in the market, which I've found surprising just considering the rest of the aesthetic and quality of their bags. Their fabrics and zippers aren't the highest quality, and just due to the trendy nature of their styles and the brand name, they typically come in a little bit higher price point than you might expect. Regardless, I've had good experience with both of these bags. They've actually held up fairly well, and they offer a good amount of value at their price points of around $100 is typically what you'll find these at. But at Marshall's, where I was able to find these, I actually got them for about $40 and $35 respectively, which is really a steal considering what they can offer at that price point. So the Little America, which we looked at a little while back, has a good capacity. It's a top-loading bag with the heritage style vibe. It's got the adjustable straps, the magnetic buckles, quick access pocket. It of course has a great laptop compartment, padded, suspended, fleece lined. It's got a pretty simple layout overall, but one of the areas where it really excels is in the harness system. It's got a very comfortable shoulder strap and back panel combo, just a ton of breathability, so definitely my sort of style. And then of course the Pop Quiz I've had for many years now, and great laptop protection, very sort of classic Jan Sport style aesthetic with some good quick access organization. It's got a fleece lined protected pocket at the top, the really good laptop protection, and a surprising amount of space for its more compact form factor, as well as some pretty well padded straps. So As I mentioned, I'm always a fan of Herschel bags, particularly if you're looking for something a little bit trendier and popular. They offer as not the most solid build quality, but still pretty good. And if you're able to find it in one of these stores at these discounted prices, then it becomes a much more appealing decision to go for them. One of the things that I like most about exploring these stores is that I'm often introduced to brands that I never would have heard of. Some of these are probably pretty small and unknown. This is a backpack from a company called Stone Mountain. It says this is a genuine leather backpack. Got it for $60. Still have the tags on this. I've just started to kind of test this out, play around with it. And it does feel like a really nice leather. I've had some other leather backpacks pretty recently on the channel, and those come in at over $100 typically. Some of them go way higher into the premium range, $300 or $400. And so this leather doesn't feel, of course, quite as high quality as that, but it still looks really great, professional. If you are looking for a gift for a student who's maybe going into an internship, their first job, or if you're just a working professional, you want something stylish, this is a really solid option that comes in at under $100. And I was really impressed with the feature set that this offered, especially as I think back to some of the videos that I've made this year where I talk about what are the features that are critical to me in a bag. This one hits a lot of those surprisingly well. So it's got 2 external water bottle pockets, a really comfortable and breathable harness system. It's got a luggage pass-through, good organizational layout, and a padded and suspended laptop sleeve on the inside, as well as just a really cool kind of classic aesthetic. So, again, a brand I was not super familiar with. I'll try to link to it in the description below if you want to check it out. I believe it's also sold at Bell's and some other ones. But again, more so, I love the idea of just kind of being introduced to smaller brands like this. You can still get a lot of value and functionality out of something that's not, one of the really well-known brands, particularly if you're looking to get something good at a lower price point. You know that technical and travel clothing is becoming more mainstream when you start to see it at stores like these, which is great as more people will be introduced to the benefits that you can get from more technical fabrics and styles. I am a huge fan of brands such as Western Rise, Bluffworks, Duer. We featured some really great ones on the channel, but they are more premium options for sure. Pants that come in at $100 or above, and you get a lot of value for that price point. They're gonna be with you for a long time to come. They work well, but at stores such as Marshall's, Ross, TJ Maxx, there's companies like Kenneth that have actually made some travel pants and shorts and shirts that have really, really impressed me. Just the fit of these is as good, if not better, than some of the more expensive options that I've tried out. They have some chinos, which have a good amount of stretch. They dry quickly. They pack down really small. They have a safety zippered compartment on the back. And yeah, they offer them in a few different colors and sizes. And I've actually bought a ton of these just to have around the house. They come in at around $20 at these stores, which is really, really good for the type of pants that they are. They've held up pretty well. These are also really great gifts as I've tried to introduce more of my friends and family to these types of clothes, which are really helpful to have when you're traveling. So you have the pants, the shorts as well, very similar sort of material, very quick drying, stretchy, always great for more outdoor activities and for traveling, as you can get them wet, you can wash them, and they also have just some additional pocketing, which is nice on these type of pants. They have kind of a hidden zippered compartment on the leg for a phone or any other sort of device that you might want to store there, and they offer these in a few different colors. And of course the shirts I'm also a big fan of because they have these fabrics, which particularly for me, living in a hotter climate and traveling to tropical locations, they breathe a lot. They're very easy to wash and dry. And again, the mobility that you get from the fabrics that they include, and just the fact that they're pretty wrinkle resistant and easy to toss into a bag is nice. They come in at around $20, $15. They're often in the sale rack. These styles maybe aren't the most modern or cool always, but it's cool enough that it works for me for a trip when I just want to have some extra shirts that are going to be easy, reliable, and that, if something happens to them, I'm not going to be super heartbroken. So, and Kenneth isn't the only brand that has these at these stores. I've noticed a ton of different brands popping up. So definitely get out there, explore, see which ones have the sizing and cuts that fit for you. regardless, if you need kind of more versatile technical clothing, then these stores are definitely gonna have a lot of interesting options to take a look at. Footwear has been another category where these stores have impressed me, as I found some pretty useful brands at great prices, particularly Tom's and Hey Dudes, which are two of my favorite shoes for traveling. I've talked about Tom's for many years on the channel, as they're just very lightweight. They're surprisingly comfortable for walking long distances, and as a dancer, these are kind of the perfect backup dance shoes, as they actually have, the bottom is really good for dancing. You'll see a lot of professional dancers even wearing these. So just a very versatile shoe. They have kind of a funky style, but they can pair pretty nicely with jeans or chinos, particularly if you get a darker color. So big fan of Tom's, and they have a lot of different styles. I have Tom's boots, I have Tom's lace-up shoes. I just think that they do a pretty good job and the quality is solid. And then of course, Hey Dudes, is a phenomenon that has taken over as of late, got swept up in the hype, and I can see why they're so popular. Like Tom's, the style can be a little funky. They're not the dressiest shoes per se. They're kind of a spin on boating shoes in my opinion, but they're very lightweight and they're super, super comfortable to wear. You can slip them on very easily in and out, which is perfect when you're traveling, going through TSA. I love wearing these, as I can just put them on and off very quickly on a flight. They feel great. They're not adding a ton of weight to my bag or my feet if I'm wearing them. The bottoms are pretty good for walking, even for some longer distances. They offer them in a ton of different styles. They're maybe a little bit overpriced, but not super expensive if you get them normally. But if you can find them at one of these stores, you're gonna get of course, a little bit of a discount. They have them in some of the different colors and styles that I found in the store. So these are just two of the examples. I've found great Adidas shoes, Nike shoes, all the types of shoes that I would use for traveling and everyday activities that I really like, and usually at a pretty big discount. And so that's it. That is some of the surprising gear that I found at stores such as Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Ross. Hopefully this video was helpful, or at least inspiring to go out and see what you can find. And if you have any questions on the items that I featured in this video, or if you have found something really cool at one of these stores, or if you would like to see a similar style video on a different kind of line of stores like a Target or a Walmart, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make sure to include links in the description below to some of the other roundup videos that I've done on my favorite travel bags, travel clothing, some of the budget options that I've found in the past. And as always, I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.